Brian Roisentul here. I'm the host of the Thick Growth Machine podcast, where I talk with top leaders in the fitness industry. And today we have a special episode, one I'm really excited about, as we are going to discuss how to build a business that you will enjoy for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want that, right? So before introducing today's guest, let me tell you that this episode is brought to you by BSR Digital. At BSR Digital, we help fitness brands that want to scale their business to the next level using Facebook, Instagram, and Google Ads. BSR Digital knows that most e-commerce brands want to grow their sales, but they lack a solid plan and professional team to help them succeed. That's why BSR Digital offers strategic plans, implementations, optimization, and account audits to help more than 1,000 e-commerce brands like yours grow their businesses and surpass their competitors. To learn more, you can visit us at bsrdigital.com, and you can also email us at hello@bsrdigital.com. Now, let's introduce our guest today. I have Eric Bandholz. He's the founder of Beardbrand and Sovrnty. Hey, Eric, thanks for being on the show.
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And I have to thank Peter Keller, who made the intro. So, Peter, thanks a lot for making it.
Yeah,
So,
Peter and I, we go way back. He's a really good dude. So
yeah,
always happy to share common friends.
yeah, he's great, and he has a great business. So you should check it out. Yeah. So, yeah, Eric, please, why don't you tell the audience what the company does?
Yeah, so Beardbrand is a men's grooming company. We focus obviously on beard care, but we've grown beyond the beard. Just today, we celebrate our 10-year anniversary of when I bought the domain, beardbrand.com.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been a lot of fun. And we've, grown beyond the beard. So we have hair care and body care, skin care, fragrance, things like that we've added over the time period. But more than that, Beardbrand's always kind of been like a community first organization. We started with a YouTube channel, a Tumblr page, and a blog way back in the day. And then we added e-commerce into it about a year later. And the past year, last September, we launched a new brand called Sovrnty, Sovrnty. And we wanted to grow beyond, men for our product offering. So Sovrnty is kind of a more broad company that sells similar products, beauty and grooming products, but it's not going to be necessarily a men's grooming focus. So we bootstrapped the company. We've up to upper seven-figure business, and here in Austin, Texas, and enjoy the journey. No debt, no drama, a lot of fun, and certainly it has its challenges and problems to solve, but that's why we show up to work every day.
That's great to hear. So, wow, 10 years, that's a lifetime, right? Now we are used to to wanting results right away, for things to work like for yesterday, and 10 years. Wow, that's great. So, I always love to hear about the story of the man behind the company, and yeah, the current success that you have with these brands. So, what's yours?
Yeah, I mean, I think the real answer is the people around me. I've got two amazing business partners who kind of accent my weaknesses and really kind of make the company stronger. I am definitely a visionary kind of ideas guy, and I'm fortunate that my business partner Lindsay can fill in the operational side of things and kind of crank through the I don't want to call it grunt work, but like the important things that make a business run. Make sure you have products in stock and things like that. And then, of course, from a psychological standpoint, I'm a very emotional person. So being able to manage kind of like the ups and downs of a business, and being able to have someone who can help lift you out of the doldrums when you get in it, which every business owner is certain to get in there from time to time. So I feel very fortunate to have a great business partner, or great business partners. And then also my team. I've got a wonderful team who execute on the daily requirements of the company from our marketing and operations team.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, having a partner is way more important than it looks like. I can tell you now, I have had a partner for, I don't know, probably 12 years. And for the last 2 or 3, I'm by myself for different reasons. We were in different projects, different things. He's still my best friend. But man, I mean, it's it's a ride. I mean, of course, 2 people, different opinions, different things, but one common project. It's great. It could be tough, but you should be comfortable having, conversations, arguments. Why not with someone that it's by your side all the time in the business? And it's true what you're saying that when you're probably down, the other one brings you up, and the other way around. So it's great to have someone to have your back. I mean, who's
And
been,
I think with a business partnership, it's important to understand what your roles are within the organization and be really clear. I think where a lot of people start to have issues with business partnerships, and there's certainly a lot of people who have bad business partnerships, and will tell me I'm an idiot for saying business partners are great, but I think a lot of those issues stem from the fact that the partners are kind of working on the same thing, and Lindsay and I are and Jeremy, we're never going to see things exactly the same. Like if you ask us all a question, we're probably going to have 3 different ways of doing it. It doesn't mean one way is necessarily better than the other. They all may be correct in their own way, but what you really need to have is just kind of that like one person's kind of responsible for that division, and the other people support them in those decisions, and not really kind of like Monday morning quarterback or like criticize them or like really, like if you've got the time and the ability to focus on what your business partner is doing and not what you're doing, then you're clearly not fully invested in the things that you should be doing within your roles of the company. So you've got to have that faith, you've got to have that trust in your business partner, and then I think that's been an important reason why, or important aspect of our relationship, and why our relationship's been successful 10 years into it.
yeah, I share everything you said. And yeah, clear roles, clear responsibilities. That will be, yeah, that's something, yeah, crucial for a partnership to work. And
in
yeah,
in marriage too, so
well, yeah, if in marriage, it's important. Why not in business? And it's yeah, I'm sometimes you see more your business partner than you see your wife or your husband, right? Every single day. So it's important to have, and there's money involved. There are many decisions, but the important thing is that you have one vision, and then there could be 1,000 ways to get there, right? As you said. And but yeah, it's important to have clear roles and responsibilities. So yeah, so we are talking today mainly about how to, I mean, build a company that you will love for the rest of your life, and you will enjoy the ride. It's that's what this is all about, right? Enjoying the ride and enjoying working in your company. So besides having a great partner, what are the other key ingredients for making that happen?
yeah, I mean, I just tweeted something similar. The keys to life are, roof over your head, food on the table, surrounded by people you love, and then being able to have your mind and your body face adversity and be challenged. I think the same is kind of true with the business. Like obviously you need to have your customers and you need to have a business coming in, but you need to surround yourself with people who you love, the partnerships. We've already kind of talked about that, but you need to be excited about solving the problems, and you got to be excited about the mission that you're working on, and the purpose of the business. And if you don't have that desire to do something like, if you don't believe that your company is making a big impact on the world in a positive way, it's going to be really hard to get out of bed every day and work on it. So you need to have a mission and core values that kind of drive your business.
Did you follow any books or methodologies to define your core values and mission, or did you just start working on that
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a very philosophical organization from the get-go. So it's just kind of like inherent in our nature to want to have a mission, and to have core values. So like it wasn't something that we had to buy into, or someone says like, oh, you got to have mission, da, 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 da. Um, so it was always like there kind of on day number one. But we do follow, it's called EOS, Entrepreneur
Yep.
Online System or something like that. I forget what it stands for. Operating System, Entrepreneur Operating
Yeah.
System. And they're a big believer in core values and mission and stuff like that. So that was part of the process. And we've evolved, our mission over the years. We've never evolved our core values as if stay the same, but like it is something that it's not written in stone. It can change based on like how your company's doing, or like the success you've had, like uh what's going on in the marketplace. So
Yeah, there are many books talking about that, and one of the books, probably the one you're referring to, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the book called Traction. Is that correct?
yeah, traction and scaling up.
Scaling.
Scaling up is kind of the workbook. I probably got it in the other room, but yeah, it gives you like a blueprint of like how to do the things. And then I think traction, Rockefeller habits is another one that you can read that kind of touch base on that stuff.
That's awesome. And I wonder always, how do you take these lessons and these values into practice? How do you put them into practice? Because when you are a one man shop, or a one man operation, then it's up to you whether you follow these things or not. But then as you grow, how do you do so everyone else follow and are in love about the same things you are, or they are involved probably.
Yeah, I mean, we integrate our core values into pretty much everything in our business. Like for instance, the booklets we give out, we put our core values here, so we're sharing it with our customers, freedom, hunger, and trust. And then during our hiring process, we ask candidates to tell us what freedom, hunger, and trust mean to them. So they kind of like the first exposure into the brand is the core values, and we really just want to make sure that we get people who align with those core values. Um, and then whenever like we're facing adversity or something feels off, we usually bring up our core values and be like, here's a problem here. This person wants a 12-month contract. That minimizes any kind of freedom for being able to work with other people if it doesn't go right. And it kind of like erodes trust, because if they are good at what they're doing, why would they need to lock us up for 12 months? So we've like over the years, we've just avoided any kind of like long-term contract. And so that's been like a guiding light for us. And people, our team will run into these issues where they'll want to bring on a client and they'll ask for a contract, and I'm just like, hey, our core values, it doesn't make sense for us to do any kind of long-term contract.
Oh yeah, so I think that I'm talking about myself now. Probably up until a few years ago, I thought not that the core values or mission was BS or something like that, but I thought it was more of a theory. And then as I started implementing those, I saw the power in them, right? It's like you attract the right or the wrong talent, depending on how well you define your values and vision and mission. The same with the clients, the team members, the clients, everything around you fits what you want to do or nothing. If you don't know where to go, how do you know if you're reaching the destination or you're achieving anything, right? And for those listening that are starting out or haven't defined the values, there are some companies that probably they close an entire division and they shift their focus somewhere else that they can actually become more profitable and 10x growth or whatever, right? Same with clients. Some clients probably have been a pain there, and you don't know why up until you define the values and say, oh, this is why. They are not aligned with the kind of clients they want to have. I don't enjoy working for them. And this is the reason, right? So it's really important that you guys listening define this, because it's not only the theory. I learned it the hard way, that this you can really put this into practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to talking about building a company that you enjoy and enjoying the journey is like having a company whose core values kind of represent your own core values, and you're able to like in your case, like turn away clients that aren't good fits, or not work with vendors who don't work the way that you work, and understanding that um, you know assuming you're like one of your core values isn't like growth at all cost, like it allows you to be okay with like not growing at all costs, so it's you have to find out what's important for you in life, and for some people that growth at all costs is what's important to them, and they would much rather do some like chalkboard on the or fingernails on the chalkboard deal than and grow than I don't know, turn that business away and be happy, but to each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, and thinking it that way, based on what you just said, I'm thinking out loud, and probably this is not right, or probably it is, I don't know. But I just thought about that, and it's by not defining your core values, you have some already by default. We all, as you said, growing at all cost, engaging with any client. So we all have those values. And if you want to edit, let's say, and change them, you should update them and do it, right? Otherwise, we all work by those values without wanting that, right? So by not defining them, you're doing exactly that. And it's a great way of looking at that. You're actually hurting yourself with all the non-core values, let's say, that you haven't defined.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think one of the weaknesses a lot of people have is they're not very self-aware. They're not willing to look critically at themselves, and that's a skill set that once you learn that, you can kind of love yourself for both the things that you're great about, but also recognize the things that you're not so great about, and recognize that doesn't make you any better or worse of a person for those attributes, but it allows you to just kind of focus on the things that bring you joy, rather than living this life of lies and manipulation and insecurities and just like anxiety, for lack of better terms. I think once you start to love yourself, love the person who's looking back at you in the mirror, then the world becomes like a lot more easy, for lack of better terms. Like you kind of feel like you have an advantage to like you figured out life almost.
Yeah, and I bet you can achieve a lot of key milestones, right? I know already that you have achieved great ones. Would you want to briefly mention a few of them?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years we've done a lot. We were on Shark Tank 8 years ago. We've built a YouTube channel with 1.8 million subscribers. TikTok, we've built about 500,000 followers on TikTok in about a half a year. I don't know, man. Like I'm not too much into bragging. I think
Oh,
that the key is.
no, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like the key is I've got a roof over my head and food on the table, and great people around me, and I'm not. I think there's a lot of in entrepreneurship, especially people who kind of sell the dream of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of this focus on monetary achievement, financial wealth achievement, driving Lamborghinis and having the mansion, the hill, and the big pool. And to me, none of that really brings lasting joy. It's temporary dopamine boost or whatever. So it doesn't really take a lot to build a company that can essentially allow you to win in life. Like if you're a solopreneur, that's like $1 million, $1.5 million company making 20% profit, which is very, very achievable. It's not something that is really that far out of reach, especially if you think about it. Like what's 1.5 million divided by $100? That's what is that? 15,000, right? So you need like 15,000 customers a year, and there's 330 million people in America. So there's a niche of 15,000 people for whatever your business is. You can find them. So like building the American dream of course, I'm very American centric, but building that dream and building that life is very achievable, and something that I think all people have access to. And um, I would always encourage you not to compare yourself to others in their journey. I've been doing this for 10 years, and we've been through a lot, but compare yourself to yourself last year and how you're growing as an individual, or how your company is growing.
I agree. Stay focused, have clear goals, don't get distracted. Try to surround yourself with great people, masterminds, coaches, or whoever, but people that moves you forward and tells you what's ahead, probably in chapters that, I mean, try to get together with people that are probably a lot of chapters ahead of you, right? And you will know probably what's next, what was next for them, and probably what's next for you. Or probably could be different things, but more or less what it's like to be on that level. You will see that it's, as you said, achievable. It's not crazy. It's not about the dream. It's something that you can achieve soon, and you can, if you surround yourself with the right people, you can actually know how they got there as well, and try your own way as well. But
Yeah, there's
that's
a there's a there's a great saying that an idiot doesn't learn from their mistakes. So a smart person learns from their own mistakes, and a genius learns from the mistakes of others. So I kind of feel like if you can think of that, like, listen to people who have been through it before, and take notes on that, and don't make the same mistakes. Then that kind of allows you to elevate and you know uh,
yeah.
accelerate the growth of your company.
Yeah, and about the monetary goals, all those stuff. Everyone likes money and all those stuff. But hey, if you haven't read the 4 Hour Work Week book, there's a, I mean, at least to me, I found it accurate. Let's say it's a great story, the fisherman story in that book. It gives you a reminder that if you keep postponing your life and enjoying your life instead of enjoying the ride, because it's part of the life, and you stay focused on money, 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 as it's a Lamborghini, a mansion, or whatever, who 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 would you become? Who are going to enjoy that with? Is that really your goal, or is that only to show off? And probably your goal is to have a family, to have children, to have friends. To sometimes I take a look at these billionaires on TV, and sometimes I say, hey, they look sad. I mean, I hang out with friends. I don't need to have security with me to everywhere I go. Of course, they have millions and millions in property, and for what, right? I mean, it's not if it's part of your life and your plan, and you will transform that money into something. I don't know, your kids' college, or a house for your family, or a new car for your family, or whatever, a family vacation. It doesn't have to be family if you don't want to have a family, but it's, what do you want to do with money? If you have a car, why do you want that car? A mansion, why do you want that mansion? How many empty rooms do you want to have, right? So what is it that you want really, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the hedonistic lifestyle. There's messaging all across the board telling you that's what you should aim for, but I think a wise person will be able to kind of break the shackles of that and understand, you know, uh, what is important to them.
Yeah, so let's keep talking about growing a business. So you said that you're growing yours, you're doing great, 10 years. That's fantastic. No easy task, of course. So how do you do to get those new customers? Is it through organic, paid? What do you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, the 10 years in, you kind of get your toes into a lot of different ways. We've done paid um, search a lot last year, and we found that it was not very successful for us. Ended up costing us quite a bit of money, unfortunately. So we pulled back on paid social, and we've reallocated a little bit to paid search. But getting back to our roots, which is organic content, so focusing on our organic content, how we can produce content that brings value to our audience, and then just improve the messaging that we have there. And then like we do a lot of content. So we have a blog and a lot of emails that we go out, and we kind of have this mentality that we try to give value first and then ask and ask second. So we're really focusing with that, with the expectation that maybe we grow at a slower rate, but that's okay. It's going to be a more profitable rate, a more healthy rate, and one that we, can build an authentic relationship with our customers, who understand what we're doing and what we're trying to do, and our mission as well.
That's awesome. And to those who are getting started with social or with their brand, a lot of new brands. There are a lot of new brands after COVID, mainly a lot of awesome startups and entrepreneurs. So what would you tell them? I mean, how can they go about growing their brand organically and getting traction from those efforts?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be prepared for the long game. Like nothing on YouTube is going to really hit until you've produced, like 50 pieces of content. So like, how can you have a plan, an action plan for creating 50 YouTube videos? And kind of like TikTok and the other platforms are all very similar. It depends on you. You have to create content, and you have to create engaging content. And then you have to have this willingness to look at the analytics and the data of the content you're producing and see what resonates with your audience and be able to produce more of that content. So I think like the key is just like this willingness to kind of like suffer and produce content for long periods of time, knowing that it may not pay off for a long period of time as well. And I think most entrepreneurs aren't willing to do that. They all want immediate, fast returns, or maybe their cash flows are putting them in a position where they need to do things to kind of move units at a faster rate. So ideally, if you can run your company operationally very conservatively, have a lot of cash in the bank, don't invest over, or don't overinvest in like speculative products or things that aren't part of your core competency. Then I think you're going to be able to see a nice healthy business.
That's
It's
great.
always a balance, though. It's always a balance.
Are there any tools that you use to keep track on what's trending, or do you just use the back end of TikTok, Instagram, and all those?
No, I think the key is you try to build a relationship with your audience and see what kind of stuff that they want. I tend not to. I'm not like a data guy. I'm more of a feel person, and it's more of just kind of do the things that you feel passionate about. The content's a long game, so you have to do stuff that is engaging for you, stuff that you enjoy doing. And if you don't enjoy doing it, you're going to quit creating content. So the rule number one is you've got to create content that you enjoy, because that's how you're going to be able to do it for years on end.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. And yeah, basically, I just wanted to ask you something. I know you showed before that booklet you have. Is it true that you send it in every order you deliver?
Yeah. So the booklet I showed earlier today was the Keep On Growing booklet, and this is just a basic blank notebook. So there's nothing in here. It's kind of like a field notes. You write your own ideas in it, and so we'll do it a quarter, and then like we'll switch it out. So like we have this booklet, which is our quarterly planner, and this will kind of give you a way to organize your quarter. It's a little blown out there. Sorry about that. But the third one we offer is called the Book of Reminders, and this is a little book that I wrote myself as a way to kind of like, as I face adversity, there's 9 different reminders here that I kind of tell myself as I struggle. I struggle like everybody else, and we thought that was a good way to kind of like stick to our mission and really help guys love the man looking back at them in the mirror, which is something that we're trying to do. And of course, like our tagline, keep on growing. How do we help them keep on growing? So these are little things that we do to kind of stand out in the marketplace. But more than that, try to help our audience and our customers on their journey.
That's great. I can imagine the feedback you must receive from it because it's probably unexpected, right? People just expect the product and then they receive that to inspire themselves and keep them accountable and also leave them like improve their mood when they are probably sad or frustrated. So it's a great thing from your company to do.
Yeah, and not everyone's going to resonate with it. The messaging is not going to appeal to everyone, but for those who are receptive to it, it brings me joy knowing that we were able to you know, put some messaging out there that
For
helps
sure.
people.
For sure. Uh, are you working on something exciting right now that you want to tell the audience?
I mean, yeah, 10 years in, I'm still really excited about building the business. Obviously, the new brand Sovrnty is kind of a side project and a way for me to kind of keep my creative juices going, you know, that entrepreneurial ADD kind of mentality. But beyond that, like Beardbrand's got a lot of operational improvements that we're doing. So excited about that. New packaging, new products, as always. You know, truncating the product offering. You know, hopefully we'll roll out a new website with kind of like a new brand vision. Beardbrand is historically kind of like this, you know, kind of classic modern look, and I want to change that vibe up. Um, but I don't want to spoil it in case some of my competitors are listening.
No worries, no worries. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you would think that will benefit the audience?
No, I mean, I think it's you know, business is a journey. It's challenging. It's got its hurdles, but you know, I think the final reminder is like there is no destination. If you're working to sell the business or to have a big exit or you know to hit some kind of like revenue milestone, you'll find that it's a lot less fulfilling than you thought it was going to be when you get there. So really, you got to remind yourself to enjoy the present, enjoy what you're doing today, even if it is challenging and you're not where you want to be. You know, enjoy that journey to get you to where um, you want to go. Or I mean, the reality is you're there. You know, the destination is now. The destination is the present, and you're in the present. So
I
I don't
love
know.
the destination is the present. Okay, that's great. Yeah, this has been awesome. I really enjoyed this episode. So where can people go to find more about you and your brands?
Yeah, so I'm the only Eric Bandholz. I prefer to be on Twitter, so you can follow me on Twitter. It's my last name at Bandholz. B as in boy, Andholz. And then, of course, do yourself a favor. If you're a dude, head over to beardbrand.com, buy some stuff. If you're a dudette, then head over to Sovrnty, Sovrnty.com, and get yourself some Balm Divine and take care of yourself. Start loving the person looking at you in the mirror.
That's great. Thanks for being on the show. It was a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.